Welcome back to another edition of ManCave Astronomy. Today we've got our LXD75 mount set up with our 4.5 inch EQ, 114 basically, scope set up on here. We are going to do the drivetrain setups on this mount, and I've already ran through it once just to make sure there isn't any issues, and then I'm going to run through it again on this video. I'm going to actually put the camera in the scope so you guys can actually look through the scope and see what I'm using. I'll swing you around here. I'm using that telephone pole, which is probably 100 yards or better, right up there. There you go. The telephone pole there is what I'm using. So I'm focused right in on the light, so you got an idea of what we're doing. And we've already got the menus, everything already set up, ready to go. So now I'm gonna pull the camera off here. I'm gonna put it in the eyepiece and let you guys have a little look. Alright, and bear with me, I'm sure I'll have to do some focusing. Snug the camera up here so it don't move very much. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I thought it would. Well, certainly is not going the way I planned. I was hoping I'd be able to drop the camcorder in there and you guys would be able to see through here good. It doesn't look like that's working, which is surprising because I've taken pictures through this before. You guys ain't gonna be able to see it. You might be able to if I get us into focus here. Let me try one more thing. Alright, I'm gonna pop. Sorry about that, folks. Well, it appears that my digital camera here is not going to let me put the camera into the eyepiece hole and focus in on the really what the camera is doing is just focusing on the secondary mirror and not the primary, and I can't zoom it in far enough to achieve zooming into that secondary mirror. And basically all it's doing is just wanting to zoom in on the secondary, and you're catching the image back or the spot in the primary. Either way, it's not, you know, you can see the secondary mirror cross bracing and stuff. So basically the camera don't have enough zoom to zoom in tight enough to be able to look through the scope at this point. I probably can get a Barlow lens, and I may try that. I may go run in there and go grab a Barlow lens and see if I can put that in, and that will make the camera zoom in through the telescope. So let me try that real quick and then we'll be right back. Okay, folks, there we go. I needed to add on a 2x Barlow. This is just a little cheap one that come with a Tasco telescope that I had. It was my first telescope that I got for my 10-year anniversary from work. So popped it in here. As you can see, we're pretty much centered up and zoomed in here, and this will work really good because the camera will help me recenter the object. So now we're going to start the alignment process. And go to your setup menu, go to telescope, enter that, scroll down to train drive, enter, and the first one is for our telescope is right extension train. We're going to hit enter. It tells you, you know, for this you're going to use terrestrial view, yada yada yada, and hit enter. Okay, center reference object. So now we're going to center the old light there. Let's see if we can get it nice and fairly even here. It looks pretty good. Alright, we're going to go with that. And now we're going to hit enter. Telescope's going to move. There you go, it's going to come back. Alright, and then it tells you to press the right arrow key until object is centered. So you cannot go past the object. Just remember, you can go to it, just bump to it till you're nice and centered again. That looks pretty good right there. We'll enter. Just remember, you can't go, if you go past it, you can't back up. You'll have to restart the whole process again. So just a little word of advice when you're doing this. So we look good there. Let's go ahead and enter. Okay, now you're going to do, that was for the right button, and then we're going to do the left button. And usually what I like to do when we start getting close like this, just start bumping the button there. That looks pretty good. So we're going to enter that. Alright, and then we're done. Now press your arrow button. You go back to the right extension train menu, just hit your arrow button down at the bottom down, and we'll go to declination train. Hit enter. Same deal, gives you a little scroll warning. Enter. Center reference. Look pretty good there. May bump this way just a hair. There we go. Alright, that's probably right back where we started, so I'm gonna go ahead and enter that. It slews. It's gonna come back. Alright, now it's gonna tell you to use the up arrow to align. Alright, we're getting close. Right there. We're gonna enter that. And now we're gonna use the down button. And we're getting close, right about there. Alright, we're done. And that's how you train your right extension, your declination drives. And I don't think believe there's anything else we're really going to do out here. The LXD75 adjust, this is not a sore spot anymore, pretty much. I got some good feedback from some of my viewers. And at this particular point, we're not ready to go into that menu and to do that menu because our telescope, we haven't acclimated our scope. So if we don't have an acclimated scope, we don't need to worry about coning. And basically what coning is making sure that the telescope tube is in alignment in the binding rings, the holding rings, and it's all lined up to the mount. And I've watched several. My guy on Astronomy Shed, he does a really good job of explaining the coning procedure and what it is and what it does and how to fix it. You know, I read the full procedure on the LXD75, how they want you to do it with this model, you know, of a mount and stuff. So we'll get into that a little deeper. I've got to get an acclimation tool to acclimate the 4.5 and the 10 inch. That's my next biggest step right now, is to get the acclimation tools. We've got our we've got our, sorry, I got a mosquito that's getting ready to just tear me up. We've got our mount pretty much set up now. I'm real curious tonight. I'm hoping these clouds will burn off, and tonight we can get the 10-inch out and try to do some some looking through the 10-inch with stellarium, and see if now doing the train drive to see if that will help with the rubber banding issue, as they called it, why stellarium wouldn't track in correctly on stuff. What I'm gonna do now, folks, is I'm just gonna I'm gonna leave the camera in here, and I'm gonna go to the home position, which is under utilities, and we're gonna slew the scope around here to the home position, the park position. Let's see if it's gonna do it. It thinks the scope's parked now, which it is not. It's very far off from that. So what we're gonna do now is we are gonna put the scope in the home position, loosen up our clutches here, align our marks. We're in the home position now, and it's telling me to turn the scope off, powering off the scope. We're gonna power the scope back on, and you guys have a nice blurry view of the sky up there. And I don't think I can get anything to focus into that. So, but anyway, hope that helps you guys on some stuff. And we got the train drives done, and like I said, tonight we'll wait for dark to fall, and we're already set up, pretty much ready to go. So maybe I'll make a couple of videos on some stuff tonight. Thank you for watching. One other thing that I was thinking about while I was just sitting here getting ready to pack up my stuff, that I wanted to just add in here. My LXD75, my 10-inch reflector, my Traning come with two different types of rings that you can put on the focuser. I'm sorry, I'm trying to speak and think here at the same time. You can see that's a big issue. But there's and my 4.5-inch come with the same type of rings. Now I've got a real skinny little ring here. You can see it's got threads on the top, and then it threads onto the focuser. And my 10-inch also has the same type ring setup. It has just a skinny, you know, just a 2-inch eyepiece threaded ring, and it also has on the telescope, as you can see, the one I was using it's a focuser tube, or an extension tube. It's got a extension tube here. Get the cap out of it, you can see. And you can see it's, you know, I don't know, probably 50 millimeters or so long. And I was wondering what the difference in these was, you know, kind of what these were for. You know, I did look it up, and these are focusing tubes. I guess they're just extensions to give you more focal length out of your focuser. But the other thing I did want to share with you guys, and you know, everybody else out there is probably already aware of this, but I originally had my little short ring here. I had it on. I put my, you know, eyepiece in there and locked it down, and while I was out here, I grabbed this one and I stuck it in there. And when you use these extension tubes, they actually do magnify the telescope view. I don't know that I'd say twice as much, but it's probably a good bit difference. I did notice a pretty good bit of difference whenever I put the longer the focusing tube on versus just the little short piece here on. And this may be used, because it's threaded at the top, this may be more suitable for cameras with the threaded ring, if you wanted to attach a camera to it that had you had a threaded adapter for. So I don't really know. Like I said, I haven't gotten into the astrophotography part of this yet. It's still more of the getting used to the scope, the setup, and everything else. So we're starting to get to the point where we're dealing into more of the astrophotography stuff coming up. Once we get the scopes acclimated, the astrophotography part of it's going to be the next big stone, so to speak, climb. So but I did just want to, in case you guys were just like, what are the, what's this tube for? That tube, that focusing tube, it actually does give you a little more magnification. It does extend your focal length of your scope because your eyepiece is longer out, and therefore it will magnify your view a little bit. And it's not going to double your telescope power like a Barlow, but it will give you a little more it will give you a little bit more of a upgrade, so to speak. So in order to double the power of your telescope, you got to have a Barlow lens. And the reason they call them Barlows is because they have another lens in there that magnifies. So but anyway, just a little tidbit for you, something to chew on. Just wanted to share that with you. Thanks for watching.